In 2013, I had 3 hunters that I personally guided on 3 separate hunts that shot at and missed animals on the first day. And then because they were mentally prepared for this hunt, they stuck it out for the 5 days or for the length of time they were hunting and ended up killing animals on the last day. 2 out of those 3 guys ended up killing bigger animals than they missed in the first place. And the key there, again, was mental preparation. They understood what it took to continue on. They didn't give up just because they missed. They got a little down maybe at first and were frustrated, but they shook it off and they continued to hunt. There were times in the middle of that hunt where we might have won a day or so without even seeing the game thereafter, but they still stuck with it and ended up killing animals on the last day, which was awesome for them and for me. I was really proud of them. So being mentally prepared for this kind of hunt is really important. If you're not used to hunting 5 straight days from before daylight, we go out, ride the horses an hour or 2 before daylight and get to where we want to hunt. You hunt all day long. You might have a little nap or a little rest in between in the middle of the day. And then you come out either back to your camp or to the lodge an hour after dark. So that's a long time to be hunting if you're not used to that. You have to be mentally prepared for that. You have to make sure you understand what you're getting into. So mental preparation is really important. Another kind of preparation is knowing your gear. A few things that I really highly suggest that you bring. Shooting sticks of some sort if you're shooting a muzzleloader or if you're shooting a rifle. Make sure you have something to shoot off of. You're not always going to have a tree to shoot off of, or it's not always going to be to your best advantage to lay down and shoot in a prone position. Have a backup. Have shooting sticks to shoot off of. A rangefinder is a must. This terrain, it can be very deceptive. An elk can be standing at 350 yards and you think the elk is standing at 450 yards. Usually they look further than they are, and a lot of times guys with rifles shoot over the animals because they think they're further than they really are. Also, understand how to shoot up and down at extreme angles. If you don't understand that, you don't understand what your bullet does at extreme angles, then you're going to probably shoot over the animal. So make sure you do your research and be prepared in that way. Some guys mistakenly borrow rifles and come out and hunt, and they're not really comfortable with that rifle. To me, that's probably a bad decision. If I were you, unless you shoot it a lot before you show up. Make sure you know that rifle or that muzzleloader or of course your bow before you come out. Know your weapon and know what the ballistics are for that particular rifle or muzzleloader. What the drop is at 300 yards. We get a lot of shot opportunities at 300 yards and less. We try to get you to within 100 or so, but be prepared to shoot out to at least 300 yards. Boots. A few guys make the mistake of bringing boots that are brand new and not broken in. That is a bad decision. It can ruin your hunt the first day. It give you blisters and your feet will hurt, and the next few days you may just not feel like hunting anymore. So you've just thrown $4,500 down the drain because you didn't come prepared with your gear. Make sure you have the right kind of layers. Do not put cotton against your skin. Cotton kills. That's what I say in the high country. If you get a lot of moisture, which you're going to whenever you're sweating, whenever you're walking, whenever you're hiking, and then you sit in glass for an hour or two, that sweat's going to get real cold real fast if you're wearing some kind of cotton layer as a base layer. Do not do that. Make sure you have the proper rain gear. You can expect rain, sleet, hail, snow, and sunshine. It could do all of that in a rifle, even in a third rifle hunt maybe. But expect all kinds of weather. Most of our hunts in rifle season you can expect from 70 degrees to -5 degrees. That's typical. So make sure you're prepared with the right kind of gear. The third and last key to preparation is being physically prepared for this hunt. If you're not physically prepared for this hunt, you're probably not going to have that great of a time. You really need to get out and exercise and really push yourself. Of course, you might want to check with your doctor about an exercise program, but when you're hunting at 9, 10, 11, 12,000 feet, which most of our camps set it on average at 10,000 feet, when you're hunting at that elevation, the air is obviously thinner and it's a little bit more difficult to breathe. So if you can arrive a day or two early, that also helps you acclimate to the elevation. But getting out and exercising is really important. Something else that's overlooked is going, if you're doing a fully guided and a semi-guided hunt, or a semi-guided hunt, you need to go out and ride a horse 2 or 3 days a week, 3 or 4 or 5 weeks leading up to your hunt, and prepare your body for riding a horse, because we will ride a horse a lot of times during our hunt. And then you need to be ready to hike. Hiking up extreme angles, hiking downhill, zigzagging. Whenever you're doing switchbacks, hiking, it can affect your tendons on both sides of your knees, and that can hurt a lot of people as well. I've seen a lot of guys watch elk up a mountain, 800-900 yards from them, maybe even 1,000 yards, and just can't go after them because they're not physically able. Their hunt could have turned out completely different if they were physically prepared for the hunt. So make sure you go out and exercise on a regular basis. Don't wait a week or 2 or a month before your hunt to start preparing physically. Get out and exercise months in advance. It's almost April right now, so if you have an October hunt, you have a lot of time to get ready for this hunt. If you live on flat ground, there's no hills around, find a football stadium. Go up and down the bleachers 3 to 5 times a week, if not more. And, of course, slowly work your way into it, but eventually you need to work up to having a 20-pound, 30-pound, 40, 50, 60, 70-pound pack on your back when you're going up and down the bleachers. That'll help you prepare. You're not going to have to carry that much weight when you're doing a fully guided hunt, but that preparation will get your legs and knees and shoulders and back ready for the type of hiking you're going to have to do on this hunt. I just don't want to see you waste your money by coming unprepared. If you're a smoker, probably not the hunt for you unless you're just in really good shape otherwise. I don't really see how, but I've had guys show up and only be able to hunt every other day. They've had to take a day off in between each day of hunting simply because they weren't prepared for the horses and they weren't physically prepared. They were smokers and they could only hunt maybe 100 yards from the horse. So physical preparation is the #1 priority if you're booking a hunt with OutWest Guides.